Hello, welcome to Cooking with Cornbread. That's me. I'm Cornbread. There's a long story behind that and a short story. I was packing something at work, and there was three Chris's at the work. I'm Chris. They said we had to come up with nicknames, and dude said, "Look at there, that dude's packing that rebar. He cornbread fed," and it stuck. Not everybody calls me that, but the people who know that story know me by that name. So today we're gonna do some chocolate chip cookies. That's my middle daughter's favorite. She does not like my sugar cookies, and that blows my mind because everybody loves my sugar cookies, and this one's easier to make, and I like making them for her. So we're gonna go with the recipe here. And by the way, I'm making these for her. We're gonna keep some at home, but there's somebody that always comments on stuff I make, and she's gotten sugar cookies because of that before. When my wife was asking around for somebody that can make some good cookies, and that's Keisha Griffin. So Keisha, you getting some sugar cookies come Sunday. They're chocolate chip cookies, I'm sorry. So with the recipe, in my mixer I've got a half cup of granulated sugar or white sugar, and I've got a cup already of packed brown sugar, and I was going to show you how I pack. Take it down here, man. How I pack my sugar, and that's a bad part of the recipe because not everybody packs the same. But it's alright, man. They're gonna taste good. It don't matter. You don't have to be that precise. I know I've seen recipes that weighs it, and I don't have a scale. I want to get a scale, but that's a packed half cup. And tap it out, and then when it falls in there, it's solid. So the difference between granulated sugar and brown sugar is granulated sugar is white sugar you put in your tea, whatever. Brown sugar has molasses in it. You can make your own brown sugar if you want it. Put that tripod down, bud. It won't be all shaky for it. Am I sideways now? A little bit. Alright, so it calls for, look in here, a cup of melted butter. I melted this earlier. Watch me, it's cool to touch. It's warm right now, but if you melt your butter and then put it in your mixer, that's gonna scorch your sugar, and that's not good. So I melted it before, let it cool down, and you don't have to melt it on high heat. If you're doing something in your oven, and you can think beforehand. Is it back on me, bud?
Yeah.
If you're doing something in your oven, you can think beforehand. You can put it on that little eye that's above your being on your oven, and that'll heat it up, and you can melt it that way. That's all good. So a cup of melted butter. We'll fold this up, and we'll start this blender. And when I got my blender out, everybody knows something special is gonna happen.
I know.
God has gifted me with a few different talents. I work in water and wastewater. I build water plants and wastewater plants, and why He has gifted me with the knowledge I got, I do not know, but I appreciate it. It's not the biggest gift He's given me. He's given me 3 beautiful kids and a lovely wife. Very beautiful. And that's not the biggest one. The biggest one was he gave me eternal salvation. And if you want to talk to me about that, you can direct message me, or you probably know me, and you can call me. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, I bet you can figure it out in the county. So what I like to do is I like to mix that butter and sugar up a little bit. Then this is a very loose dough. So we're going to take an egg. By the way, got me a brand new cutting bowl. Got a booze block. Very thick, very fine. My wife got it for me for my anniversary, which ain't here yet, but she went ahead and got it. She's getting new flooring in the living room and foyer. I've got half of it here, getting half later. So we're going to crack a room temp egg. Why do we do room temp? Because if it's cold, it's going to cause that butter to seize up. So you don't want that. And you'll always want to try to mix your egg up, beat it up a little bit. That way, everything remains even. We're gonna mix that up and watch it. Watch it as it mixes. So when you lose that yolk and all the egg and stuff, it gets mixed well. We got another room temp egg. Yes, you can crack it. I got my helper here. She wants to help and report.
Yeah.
I love my sous chefs are the best in the world, and I will argue. And matter of fact, you'll argue with me about it. I might smack you if you say different. Cause mine are the best in the world. They're my 3 daughters.
Is that better?
Yep, crack it. The thing about putting it in a bowl like I did is if you got a kid helping you, and she got an egg or a piece of the shell in there, guess what, girlfriend? That ain't no problem. I'll stick my fingers in there. There you go. Stick your fingers in there and get that thing.
Now, wash my hands now.
Go wash your hands. I'm out of the shop, or maybe in. I don't know.
Probably.
Can't see the camera. But I put that piece of eggshell back in the big shell. And that's why you do it in a bowl like that. For one, if the egg's bad, you ain't gonna get bad eggs, I don't think. Very, very, very rare from mixing it up from Walmart or wherever you do your shopping. But that's why you do it in there. Had she cracked that in this bowl, we've been fishing out of my batter, and we don't want to do that. All right, actually, technically, this is a dough. It's not a batter. So there goes egg number 2. That goes in the sink. Doing the dishes tonight, Crystal. Don't worry about it. Crystal's my wife. I don't know why I said that, because she don't like and subscribe. If you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe, man. I got 13 subscribers. That's pretty decent. I'm gonna pump that up to extra loud again. While it mixes, I've never made this recipe with this. I always tell y'all, I use low ingredients so I can still make it taste extra scrumptious. And you can too. My daughter had a sleepover for her birthday last week. They wanted chocolate chip pancakes. That's what I'm doing tonight. I might do a video over that. She's getting excited over both, I think. And I said, why not get some real maple syrup? Most of the time, I get great value maple syrup, or maple flavored syrup. That's what that is. That's high fructose corn syrup with maple flavoring. This is worth it. It's good. I don't do it. I won't do it all the time, but I'm gonna do it this time for this recipe. So Keisha, you're getting something special today, because I've never done this before, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna taste good. So I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna pour this over top of my cutting board on a new one. I just conditioned it. I'm scared to death to even use the dang thing. It calls for quarter cut maple syrup. The reason I don't give y'all all the ingredients at one time, because I want y'all to watch my ugly mug. I want y'all to watch what I'm doing, because along with what the ingredients, I give you tips, just like the room temp eggs. I'll tell you why you use room temp eggs. And I'll tell you why you use room temp butter or melted butter. In this case, that gives you a softer cookie if you didn't know. So we got that. I'm going to go ahead and add 1/8 teaspoon of vanilla. That's great value. Don't use imitation vanilla. Go ahead and get you some regular vanilla extract. There is a flavor difference. One of these days, I'm going to make my own vanilla. And I bet it turns out good too. So we're going to go ahead and mix that up while that's mixing on low. I got my flour. Had to spit, I'm sorry. I'll turn this off, it's hard to hear. Okay, so I got 3 1/4 cups flour. 2 teaspoons, I'm sorry, 2 teaspoons, don't show my cheat sheet, that's a secret. Anyways, I got 2 teaspoons cornstarch, a teaspoon of baking powder, teaspoon baking soda, a teaspoon salt, and I've got it in my mesh strainer. I'm going to sift this time, I'm going to sift in my flour. I've got one up there that you crank. Don't do that, it's hard to clean. Get you a fine mesh strainer, and that'll be fine. You just tap the side, man, tappity tap. Why are we doing this? It's doing a few things for us. This is mixing our dry ingredients up, because I got them all in here. So we don't have to. It is getting, it's separating and working the larger clots of flour. I don't know. I didn't know what to say. It's clot. I don't know. And it's going to make this a whole lot lighter. I've lost my cameraman. So there we go. I have sifted that and put it in the sink. So we got, you can't see because my cameraman left, now she's back. It's just, it looks like snow. It looks like powdered sugar, soft. So we're gonna turn this on. You know the routine, get you a spoon. Turn your mixer down low. Hard add and flour. That's alright. If they want to know how I do it, then watch it for 13 minutes. And my cameraman's playing with the little sister.
She's trying to brush my hair with the dog comb. Don't like that.
So this is starting to bind up, but it won't bind, it won't get real thick for you. It's a real loose dough. Very, very loose. And the name of this is the worst chocolate chip cookie recipe ever. And that's because you gotta use melted butter and let it cool. You gotta use a dough that you're gonna have to put in the fridge. I'll show you about that here in a minute. Now I'm gonna stop this because I'm at the bottom of my bowl here. I add the last third like that. So we're gonna hit that up. Load again. Here, I'll show you. It's going to bind up a little bit. So I got me again. Alright.
I'm helping.
Now it calls for 2 cups of chocolate chips.
And I'm helping.
And my cameraman wants to help.
Yay.
Pause it real quick.
Like, stop it.
Alright, so I've got, as you can tell, Clover Valley. I came from Dollar General. We're going to put a little bit in here. That it calls for 2 cups. That's one 12-ounce bag of chocolate chips. Go ahead and turn it on to 1. Got my lovely assistant here, Madeline. Let's you turn it on 2, man. There you go. You don't want to turn it on too fast. It'll break your chocolate chip down. Add some more. Don't be afraid, it'll do it. You can do this by hand too and mix it in. Look here when you hold that, man. Excuse me, I'm sorry. When you hold it, you can hold it by that rip right there. This is really hard to do with a 7-year-old. Hold it right there.
Right here?
Yep, there's a throttle that way. Hold that back. There we go. Let it go. Add the whole bag. Let it rip. Got the bag in there. Put it up on through. Everything fixed in. Now, bring it over here. Pioneer woman, baby. Gonna let my stand mixer down. Holla! Hold this for me. We're gonna get in there, side to bottom. Get to the bottom, bring it up. Mix it a little. Yeah, bud. You gotta let me see what I'm doing. We're gonna go side to bottom all the way around, just to make sure everything is incorporated evenly. And yes, I am going to let my daughters eat this dough, but they gotta wait until after I make it. So I didn't know what stopped. My bad. I was saying my daughters have to wait till it gets made. So I made this dough. What I always like to do is take the paddle out. And I know this is going to be a long video. If you watch my baking videos, it's going to be, because I'm telling you some tips, secrets, showing you what I like to do. You beat that paddle out. You got a little extra dough left. And my daughter's is shaky cookie dough from Walmart. I do not make chocolate chip cookies that way. I don't do it. Don't do box mixes. She gets that. I don't do cake mixes, brownie mixes. Don't do it. My wife gets mad at me. Don't care. She can get mad. I won't help them make the cookies that way. And what I'm doing here, and excuse me, because she's licking the paddle. I've got the camera in my hand. My cameraman is busy enjoying the fruits of our labor. Alright, so it's been 30 minutes, probably more than that. I know more than that. I let it chill 30 minutes. I've been making my little balls of goodness here. And this recipe calls for 2.5 tablespoons. So I've got a metal tablespoon measure, and it bends. You don't want to bend it back and forth too much or it'll break. So you get 2.5 tablespoons of dough. It has to be cool. This is why it has to be cool, because you're going to roll it in your hands, and then you're going to put it on the cookie sheet. You got to space them out because this is going to melt. This is going to melt down when it cooks or bakes. Because we're baking, not cooking, right? There is no difference. Got one more to do here. I've done, this is the third cookie sheet. I've got 10. I got 18 cookies fixing to go in the oven. So while that cookie dough chilled, I put the oven on 350. So you cook it at 350 for 13 minutes. I've changed watches so I can talk to y'all and set a timer on my watch. Excuse me. My cameraman's going for something.
Do you remember my mac and cheese?
What? Oh, we forgot about your mac and cheese. Yeah, we'll heat it. Ain't no problem.
It's kind of warm.
So, we're going to put these in the oven at 350 for 13 minutes. And I'll be back with you when I pull them out. Started the timer. See you then. Alright, so pulled these out and just got a message from my mom. Sorry. Look at that mess in the floor, mess in the background. New flooring. Got note to anybody that don't know how to do it, and I didn't. I don't do flooring. I do water and wastewater plants, $1 shit. Sorry, stuff. You have to let your flooring acclimate. Anyways, back to the smell good stuff. Look here. Look here. Ooh. Pulled these out. Got another batch going. Just started it. This is my high-end cutting board. I'm not going to let this hot pan set on my cutting board. These usually don't puff up like this. I don't know what I did different. I really don't. I guarantee they still going to taste good because it smells really good in here right now. So I'm gonna let these cool right here, and as the timer gets closer to the other ones getting done, I'll transfer these to my killing rack, and I'll put them directly on there, and I'll reuse this. I'll reuse the parchment paper and everything. I've got the dough back in the fridge, but you don't want to take it straight off of this onto that, because it will fall apart and stuff. But you can see how cracked and good looking. It's gonna be good. So this has been Cooking with Cornbread. I could show you on the killing rack. I'm gonna put them on the killing rack and just let them cool. And you just put them on there and let it cool down to room temp. And they're I don't think there's anything else left to say. I guess I could put it on there. See, that's why you don't do that. That's why you don't do that. I just broke my rule. Broke my rule, guys. Get that folded up. You let it sit there, that's going to get hard. Everything is going to get hard on the outside. It's going to be gooey on the inside, and it's going to be good. All right, this has been Cooking with Cornbread. Keisha, hope you love these. I hope they turn out well for me. And you, for that matter. And I'm still debating on whether or not I want to do my pancake video. Show you what kind of sausage and what kind of bacon I use. Believe I will. Bye. Love y'all.